Globalization is not what most people expected. We thought this rising tide would lift all boats, but it hasn't. So has globalization failed? Well, according to research, globalization can be redirected to help improve the lives of many people around the globe. But it will require us to think differently. Hi, I'm Axel, an anti-globalist. And here's why. I'll give you 7 reasons to go against globalization.
1. Rather than unionism, it seeks separation. Globalization is a top contributor to our country's global migration. This led to mass losses of our competitive manpower who, instead of building our country, become a builder for others. Aside from this, it also forces families to be apart from each other, lalo na during Christmas and family celebration where you're meant to be together. Why? Because globalization favors developed countries more than the developing ones. So how it separates families? Here's how.
Meron akong pangarap na pag sa pamilya ko, pag nagkapamilya ako, kung ano may yung hindi ko nakuha nung bata ako, gusto kong ibigay sa kanila.
Bali po kasi yung chances po kasi dito, hindi naman po ako ma-promote for regularity.
Sa Pilipinas, not enough yung yung sahod as
So po, sa dalawa kong anak, single mother, hindi ko po kayang masustain kung ano po yung kailangan nila. So,
nakalungkot ng
Aalis na po si Papa.
Yung pagpasok niya po sa airport, lumuha po yung mata ko tapos nalungkot po ako.
Gaano kalungkot?
Sobra po.
Anong magpapasaya sa'yo?
Nag-outing po. Sama-sama po kami.
Yung nakarating na po siya sa akin. Masaya po ako pag nandito po siya sa Pilipinas.
And though globalization possesses a lot of opportunities abroad, migration of our skilled manpower is inevitable. As we say, kasi second, globalization shifts human labor to electronic and high technology. This led to job displacement and labor exploitation. Globalization points to the outsourcing of jobs to countries with lower labor standards and wages as a major concern. They argue that this leads to job losses and wage stagnation in developed countries while perpetuating exploitative working conditions in developing nations.
We do not only use technology as an aid to make things easier, but rather, we are letting technology do the work of the people. This may sound great for some, but it also signals the loss of jobs and opportunities for many. And here's how.
Third, we are losing parts of our identity. For example, as Filipinos, jeepneys have been a trademark for us and mostly noted as the hari ng kalsada, but due to the modernization and globalization, it is slowly being shifted to a modernized jeepney that does not even look like a jeep. The shifting is not only a loss of cultural identity, but also loss of jobs for millions of Filipinos jeepney drivers.
It's just sad that we can imagine a globalist movement for innovation of people. The drivers are not writing with the pen. If you come to think of it, once there was a jeepney that took you wherever you are. Always remember, walang bisa ang pamilaran kung ang tsuper ay may iwan. Lagit lagi sa masa ang kalsada.
Anti-globalization movements may advocate for boycotting products and brands associated with wars and unhumanitarian actions of a country, with Israel, for example, as a form of protest against its policies toward Palestine. By targeting Israeli markets and brands, these movements aim to apply economic pressure and influence political decisions and bring attention to human rights violations.
This approach seeks to disrupt the flow of global commerce and challenge the economic interests that support the status quo in the region. However, it's important to note that it can be contentious and may have varying degrees of effectiveness depending on factors like international cooperation and public support.
Fifth, food quality and nutrition are deteriorating. With the impact of global importation and exchange, foods are traded, processed, and distributed through the local markets, along with its highly unhealthy preservative agents. A natural diet and consumption of food is almost impossible, especially with the presence of instant foods.
Along with these, local farmers are also affected by globalization when the government supports international market rather than local production. But please remember, instant food leads to instant life.
6. Capitalists are the mover of globalization. Workers are not paid enough for their hard work. A lot of Filipino workers are minimum wage earners, which could not even compete to the fast-pacing inflation of the Philippines. Globalization favors the rich. It makes the rich richer and the poor even poorer.
Money is the global driver of globalization. If you don't have money similar to millions of Filipinos, you cannot enjoy the innovation brought by globalization. You can enjoy smartphones, gadgets, clothes, bags, shoes, food products, and even something as simple as biscuits if you don't have enough money.
7th, globalization destructs natural environment. It reduces genetic diversity in agriculture, loss of wild species, spread of exotic species, pollution in air, water, and soil. It accelerates climatic change, exhaustion of resources, and global warming. In human search of innovation, a globalist forgets the limitation of technology.
And the moment when greed and business interests prevail over environmental protection, it is not the tycoons and global capitalists who were in the comfort of their concrete mansions that suffers, but the common people who shoulder the consequences of environmental destruction. Globalists always strive for improvement, and it is in this improvement that we lost control of the damage done in our shared habitats.
We sure do improve, but we forgot that on our journey for greatness, many people are left behind. Please remember that we may have experienced comfort in globalization, but it does not only improve, but degrades. It does not only build, but destroys. It does not only unify, but separates. Your comfort may be bought through globalization, and in seeking for more and more, we forgot the most important value, which is humanity over innovation and nature over destruction. We are anti-globalist, but we are not anti-improvement. Rather, we are a joint movement to steer down a growing empire of greed and destruction, a driver to a more equal and better quality of life. You choose what you are.